You suck. It is time to leave your worries outside and laugh with us inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and one and only Jerry Caldwell. That's right, there he is. Very big show planned for today. It is the last, quote-unquote, regular show of the Treehouse this week. Then we will peel off into our Super Plus episode that you can catch on Patreon. So there are options if you want more Treehouse in your life. Patreon.com/Treehouse on air. Today, inside the Treehouse, Stupid News-a-Palooza. Also, how one massager can ruin a whole relationship. Pun intended, right, Trey? Mm-hmm. Also, a very, very stinky Spider-Man. That's all coming up today inside the Treehouse. And if you love what you hear, do us a favor and share it with a friend. Hit that share button from your favorite listening platform. Send it to a friend. Share it on social media. Share it to someone that you think needs to be shown how to do an actually funny show. Just do that today. From your favorite listening platform, share the Treehouse Show, and together we can grow the Treehouse Show. All right. Big news here inside the Treehouse. I don't know for sure. I just know a little bit of the story on the front end. I don't know what's happening on the back end. Trey, do you have anything special to share with us today?
I do. After what has been a pretty tough year, Daisy died. Mom died. Love of my life just left. I decided I need some happiness. So I present to you Lily.
Oh my God. Oh, the cuteness. Oh,
Is
the
it
cuteness.
Is it normal for my panties to drop?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, Trey, after a breakup,
her
most
ears
people
should perk up, in a week or two. But
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Trey, after a breakup, most people get a revenge body, not a revenge puppy.
Hey, man.
oh,
But that'll work.
Oh my goodness.
You got you a lap chihuahua? She's just hanging out down there?
she, I kidnapped her yesterday.
Attaboy, yeah.
And I drove down to Houston and kidnapped her, and so she spent her first 4 or 5 hours with me in my lap, and she peed on me like the first 10 minutes. It was
Atta girl. Yeah. It's like your
Bonding.
girlfriend it's like your girlfriend never left.
yeah. So, but yeah, as of right now, she is enjoying being in my lap. Obviously, it's been a lot of changes in her life the last 24 hours, so I think this is her safe spot for now.
Cool. Good for her. It's a good spot to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And no, speaking of, I saw my ex on Sunday, and I flipped her off. She pulled up right next to me.
That's our boy right there.
So I'm guessing you've moved to the next step of the grief process.
So, she will not make eye contact with me. I have, she will not look at me, talk to me, anything. It's like, it is the damnedest thing.
Yeah, it's such a weird deal because you've seen her a couple of times since she just left mysteriously and ghosted, never came back, never heard from again. You guys live in the same area, and then you just recently found out she lives nearby, and you've seen her outside on a walk before that you were on. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And you didn't flip her off those times.
No, I've waved, try to, be cordial, whatever, but no. Then I honked and I flipped her off. She I mean, I know she had to see it, but she didn't turn her head or anything. But it honestly, it wasn't near as satisfying as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
So instead, I decided to register a website
Oh no, Trey.
Brandy Hughes is a heartless lying .net. Because .com was already taken.
Just wondering.
I guess somebody else has been through this with her before.
Wow.
I thought I'd get one of those.
That's-
You've seen the billboards around. Like some random website, like I hate so and so. I was like, oh, maybe find a digital billboard, just throw that up there.
Social media ads are really inexpensive, Trey. I can help you. You know what? We could actually do the same thing because a lot of times those billboards go to like a church thing or something. Like it's a terrible bait and switch. We could do the same thing. We could run ads in various places, podcast platforms, radio station streams that need the revenue. Also, just social media ads that say that website, and then when people click on it, it just goes to our show.
It's attention grabbing.
It is, and honest to God, I think we've got something here. So I think we can take your pain and turn it into the Treehouse's gain.
Hey, all for it.
Yeah, I mean, you got a revenge puppy. Let's get some actual revenge on this woman. You're clearly in a better place. You're
Look at that
moving on.
smile.
Yeah, you got a puppy. You're flipping off your ex when you see her in places. You are clearly moving through the stages of grief at a normal level.
It is amazing because it also, Daisy had been sick for the last really kind of 18 months of her life, where there's daily medicine and everything else. And I mean, I loved her to death, but there is something about a puppy where you're just like, it just makes everything better.
Yes.
And you know what? I have a question that I think I already know the answer to it, but I'm going to ask it anyway, just for verification of my theory. So as you were driving back from Houston and Lily, your new puppy, peed on you, because it's a 4 or 5 hour drive, were you even mad about it?
Here's the absolutely stupid, and she peed on me within the first 10 minutes, and I had brought a towel for said reason. But I was so excited and just happy with having her in my lap, I forgot to put said towel in my lap. So no, I had dog pee all in my front right front leg to my crotch, and no, I wasn't mad about it at all. It was just one of those things.
Because you're in a better place now.
Puppies can get away with just about anything.
Yes, they can. And honest to God, it's amazing because, and I even if you get upset about something that your dog does, it doesn't last because they didn't do it intentionally, right?
Right.
And they don't necessarily know any better. It would really help if in relationships women would understand men the same way. Like, I'm not doing this intentionally. It's just kind of my nature. But I am happy for you. I'm genuinely happy for you, Trey, because you really have had the year from hell. You've had, Daisy, your baby for years was going through a very difficult time for a long time, and you along with her. Your mom was going through, late stage of life. You had to deal with all of that, not just from an emotional standpoint, but going through that rite of passage that most of us go through, where it's the death of a parent. And this is the death of the final parent, right? Then you had moving twice on top of it. One was by your choosing, the other was not because your apartment flooded, and then you had to move back into that. So actually you moved 3 times. And then out of the blue, the woman that you thought was the love of your life, and believe me, you've looked a lot. I mean, and that's not a slam. It just comes with age. It's like if you've never been never been married or whatever, and you reach a certain age, you've probably been in a number of relationships. So you really thought you had the one, and then one day you woke up and she wasn't there anymore. So you've had a horrible year. So I'm very, very happy for you with your new relationship Lily the Chihuahua.
No, it was the relationship thing is really the most interesting thing about it is, I mean, I was horrible to deal with when I was an alcoholic or in my drinking years, and then I've matured a lot of far more in the last 10 years than I did in the previous 25, but this one I honestly thought I was getting right. It's like it was the first time I ever understood. It was like, okay, I can understand that you get to a point where you're like, I want to spend my life with this person. I am good, bad, and ugly. I am good with, this course. This is the road I want to be on. And then all of a sudden you're driving down the road, they open up the fucking car door and jump out.
For the record, that did not literally happen.
Right.
It's just kind of what it felt like. Honest to God, you would have been presented with slightly more closure had that scenario played out.
I will say this, and this is it sounds weird to say, but death is easier to deal with than what Brandy did to me, because you at least know what happened.
Yes, exactly. And that was what that's what I've been thinking about the last minute or so, is all these things that have happened in your life this year, the death of Daisy, your dog, the death of your mother. Those two things you knew were going to happen. You just didn't know exactly when. But, the death of that relationship just kind of came out of nowhere and was completely unexpected. So, yeah. So there is some solace, I guess, in knowing, or at least preparing for, the death of a loved one that is kind of, it's going to happen. I don't mean going to happen someday. I mean, it's like you can tell their health is rapidly declining. It's going to happen soon. So you can kind of mentally prepare for that. But yeah, the relationship thing, not so much. But now you got a new love of your life, and she peed on you already, so I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
And now you get all the love, and now you get the beautiful wonder that is raising a puppy, the housebreaking, the crate training.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing she's cute.
Yeah. Oh, she's 10 weeks old, and she's already got the nibbles a little bit, and we've been hit or miss so far with the pee pad, but and first night, of course, I tried to put her in a crate that I have, and it's more like a carrying crate, like you would take to the vet. So I've got a regular crate ordered, but of course I had to put her in my bed because she was crying and stuff.
Of course, because you looked down on the floor, you saw her in that crate, and Sarah McLachlan started playing, and your heart melted, and you grabbed that baby and put her next to you in the bed.
Well, she was crying, and what am I going to do? And she's quite the snuggler.
Dogs that sleep with their humans live longer and are healthier. I'm serious. They've shown that here recently. So
I believe it. That's probably the reason why Daisy lived to
Daisy
18.
had quit sleeping with me years ago. I mean, we had just kind of become this old married couple where she would get her 5 minutes of pets, and then she'd go to the other side of the bed and
roll over.
Yeah, and it's funny because like in the middle of the night, I wake up and I'm like, oh crap, where is she? And I look at, she has gotten underneath all the pillows. And
Daisy was so small. Yeah, and Daisy was so small. You had to legitimately wonder to make sure you didn't roll over on top of her.
Well, she's actually right now a little smaller than Daisy, and she got a fat little belly, but
belly.
She can get through. She got behind my sofa, which I didn't even think was possible. And then I'm like, crap, I got to pull the sofa out now. And then she just pops out the other side, like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, she's puppy. She don't know. She don't care, man. Not a care in the world. She's just learning stuff, enjoying life. But, she's exploring.
Yeah, I don't know how much bigger she'll get. Per her parents, she shouldn't get. I'm gonna guess she's gonna be around 5 pounds.
Yeah.
And but yeah, the day will come where she tries to get into one of those spots and be like, nope, can't fit anymore.
Yeah. It'll happen. It's interesting you mentioned that because it reminds me of Tara's Chihuahua she had when she and I first met, Daphne. And Daphne was sort of a similar size to Lily, of what Lily's going to be. Daphne was about 4.5 pounds, full grown, and tiny little brown Chihuahua thing. And Tara's nickname for her was Worm, because she always found a way to worm her way into places you never would have expected, especially in bed. She was also a space heater, because that little 4.5 pound dog emitted more heat than a boiler room. I mean, it's amazing what it is with some of these tiny dogs. I don't know if it's a Chihuahua thing or what, but a
Daisy.
tiny Chihuahua could heat a neighborhood.
In her
What-
younger years, Daisy would sleep right here on my neck.
Ooh.
And yeah, I would wake up sweating because she would just emitted so much heat.
You could have a golden retriever sleeping on your face, and you would be cooler than if you had a Chihuahua doing the same thing.
It's all that energy in that tight little space. That's why they shiver all the time. It's like that energy's got to go somewhere.
Maybe it's what it is. And the other thing about puppies, like, she peed on you, you didn't even care. Puppy toots, little puppy farts. Oh, everything a puppy does is cute.
Puppy
But
breath.
this is, yep, puppy breath. Puppy belly rubs, puppy smells. You're smelling puppies. But farts cease to be cute when they get older and they get stinkier, like with humans. Yes, kids, this is a segue. At a movie theater in Cartagena, Colombia, previously known in my life as just, the cocaine capital of the world. It's also a place not to go to a movie theater, apparently, because at a Spider-Man Brand New Day screening over the weekend in Cartagena, Colombia, about halfway through the film, a number of the audience members had to flee the theater because of a horrendous rotten smell. They make it to the lobby, tell the staff, and then somehow they conclude it was from a fart from a guy in the theater dressed as Spider-Man. I've only heard of a few legendary farts like this. One, what I believe was, I think, attributed to Will Smith on a movie set that was so bad it cleared out the set. And there's this one that apparently was so bad it cleared out a movie theater in Colombia. I can't fathom what that must have smelled like. And I also put myself in that situation. It's the Spider-Man Brand New Day movie. I've waited a while for this one. I'm really excited to be in the theater to see it. It's halfway through the movie, and this smell overtakes me. Do I leave? Or do I just try to just power through it because I really want to see this movie? And it's halfway through, so things are getting really, really good now. And there's a little dark corner of my brain that wonders, that's curious to smell it just to know how bad it smells. What would you do? Because, the only way to know whether or not you would stay in the theater or leave is you have to smell it, right?
Yeah, it's hard to believe that it was that bad that you just had to leave. I mean, I
I'm
understand
with you.
covering up
Yeah.
your nose and mouth and whatnot, but that is a pretty putrid smell if it evacuates something.
I mean, it might be that bad for a moment, but it's going to dissipate. In 15 seconds, you're all going to be able to sit back down and do whatever. Just one dude in a movie theater.
Right. And that's what I think was part of the problem, is that it happened, it was horrendous, and it lingered. It stuck there. And that's a big reason why people had to leave, because it wasn't dissipating.
It
I'm
is
not-
humid there.
Well,
It's true.
it's in Cartagena. Their theater may not have air conditioning or something else, because most theaters in the U.S., they're going to be pretty well ventilated. That no matter, like, that smell is going to get out of there pretty quick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, where I live on the island of St. Thomas, the movie theater there is not good. It's basically the stateside equivalent of a dollar theater. If you remember, for DFW folks, if you remember the Cinemark 10 in Plano, that used to be a premier movie theater back in the 90s, eventually became a dollar movie theater because they never updated it and just left it as it was. So before it finally died, it was just a dollar theater. That's what our theater on St. Thomas is like. So not greatly ventilated. Sometimes the air is on, sometimes it's not. A guy walked in, one of the last movies we saw there, a guy walked in halfway through, like near the end of the movie, making all sorts of noise, and his cologne was so horrible. It was distracting during the movie. And it was not being sucked out of the room the way you would hope. It was just bad. It wasn't so bad that we had to leave, partly because it's near the end of the film. I'm committed. I'm not leaving now. But that was bad. And look, nothing can ruin the movie theater experience faster and more efficiently than a horrible person. A stinky person, a loud person, whatever. Ugh. And it's getting worse. It used to be back in the day that people were more considerate. They were at least trying to eat the popcorn a little bit quieter. They would try to wait to open up the plastic bag on the M&Ms when action was happening as opposed to a quiet part. At least that was my experience growing up. Nowadays, people just don't give an F about anything. They just do whatever they want and don't care about anybody else's experience.
Especially phones.
Mm-hmm.
And just talking in a movie.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I remember going to see The Three Amigos with my dad in Bartlesville, Oklahoma at the Penn Theater. So not even the main theater, like the other theater that they had. And there were 6 of us in the movie theater. All 6 of us completely considerate of one another. No one coughed. No one farted. No one opened up an M&M package. No one shook their empty cup of ice. So that way, when the singing bush sang, we all heard every note. As opposed to wondering, what song is she singing? It's just, I gotta hate movie theater people are the worst. And luckily, I have a buffer, and it's my wife, because every single time we go to a movie theater, if there's a stinky guy, he will sit next to her. She is my stinky guy movie theater filter.
So more of an attractor of that kind of thing.
Maybe, but at least I'm not next to him.
So sweet. So romantic,
Yeah.
man.
So, kind of like when we went to the theater to go see Avengers Endgame, and I got the aisle seat. She sits next to me, and stinky sweatpants guy wearing his Captain America t-shirt tucked into his stinky sweatpants sits next to her, and he clearly had not been outside in weeks, but he came out to see Avengers Endgame and made sure he sat in the seat next to my wife. So for 3 hours, she got to inhale him.
She must have a tolerance for it.
Hey. I don't like your insinuation. This segment of the Treehouse is brought to you by Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration. To get your free roof inspection and property review, call 833-COOK-DFW. That's 833-COOK-DFW. The website, cookdfw.com. Daniel Cook sent me a video the other day, and he was on somebody's roof, of course, and he was talking about how this homeowner had storm damage from 2 previous storms years before, like 2 years before and like 5 years before that. And because the homeowner never got the roof checked for damage, wear and tear happened after the storm damage. So now they're trying to sell the home, and insurance is not going to cover the roof damage from any storm-related stuff because there's so much wear and tear on it. They're just saying, too bad, that's wear and tear, bub. So they're going to be out of pocket so they're going to be out of pocket trying to replace this roof just so they can get this home sold. That sucks. Avoid that. 833-COOK-DFW. A major storm rolls through. Get it checked so that way you don't end up in an insurance nightmare. And they come out and they do these checks for free. 833-COOK-DFW. Or again, the website, cookdfw.com. We still have the massager that ruined a whole relationship. And it's still out there. What am I talking about? We'll get to that in just a little bit here inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan. He's Trey. That's Jerry. Today is Thursday, August 6th, 2026. Let's celebrate today with some birthdays. Some pretty good throwback ones today. Jerry Hollowell, best known as Ginger Spice from the Spice Girls, is 54 today. The Edge from U2 is 65 today. And I still have not forgiven U2 for their takeover of my iPhone on that album release.
God, I'd forgotten about that.
I have not.
I had to.
That just makes me so... that is one of the biggest unexpected F-ups that I have seen in modern times, where they thought, hey, well, this sounds like a great idea. We can just give everyone our album immediately on their phones, and everyone's like, you doing it in my phone? I don't want this. I mean, you talk about one of the great reality checks in the history of pop culture. That's one of them, because to a man, I guarantee you, everyone in U2 thought that everyone was going to just lose their mind and be so happy and excited that they wake up to this U2 album on their phone like Santa had left it for them. And then they found out real fast, not everyone loves you, dudes.
Mm-hmm.
There's something that trumps that and always will.
Is it something you can say out loud?
2 words. Chinese democracy.
Oh. He's not making a political statement. That's an album.
That was the
Yeah.
decades-long awaited Guns N' Roses album that was absolutely fucking horrendous. Like, I Appetite for Destruction will always be one of my top 3 favorite albums. You could play it start to finish. I mean, and I think part of it was the timing of it, and where it was all like the hair bands and kind of, I don't know, glam rock, whatever. Not that it was bad, but you had Bon Jovi, Poison, whatever. Then all of a sudden,
Right.
Guns N' Roses came along, and they were just, I don't know, there was something about their sound. You were like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Yeah. They were the bridge between the sort of the hair bands of the 80s. Keep in mind, Guns N' Roses is an 80s band, but they were the bridge sort of genre-wise between some of the hair band sound and some of the Metallica more metal sound. They were right in between there, and they were so freaking good.
Yeah, they were where everything else was kind of pretty and, you know, big hair. Like they just more raw. I don't know if that's the right word, but and then Use Your Illusion was actually a very good album. There was one in between. I can't think of it. It had Patience, so you know, always a good song. All right, Patience or I Used to Love Her. Anyways, both.
I was going to say, it's funny that I know the song that you're talking about, because if I could pick an anthem for your love life, it would be Guns N' Roses' Patience. I used to love her.
No, that's no. I Used to Love Her. That's a different song. But yeah, I Used to Love Her.
Oh, that's right. My bad.
No.
Well,
I made the same mistake. But so I mean, I think Use Your Illusion came out in like 92, 93, somewhere around there. And then we waited 15 years. I can't remember when Chinese Democracy came out, but it was years and years later, and it was so everyone was just bated breath, like, oh my God, it's finally, even though Slash wasn't going to be on it, you were just hoping. And God, it was a piece of crap.
Yeah, that was a massive flop. Massive flop.
Came out in 2008.
Chinese Democracy. Man, '08 was a rough year for everybody. Phew. Yeah, the economy took a nosedive. Chinese Democracy came out. Maybe that's the reason why the economy took a dump.
That a lot of people wasted, $18 on buying the damn thing.
Stock market took a dive. Everyone started losing houses because they spent $18 on one of the worst rock albums in history. Thanks a lot, Guns N' Roses. Other birthdays today. This one will make your heart happy, okay? Whenever I see this name, it always brings a smile. Soleil Moonfry is 50 today. I don't
Punky
even care
Brewster.
that it makes me feel old that she's 50, but Punky Brewster is 50, and that makes me happy.
I wonder how she looks these days. 'Cause she held up. I mean, she looked good for a while.
I'm not sure. I've not seen her recently. The last thing I remember seeing her in was when she had a guest spot on Friends, where she was dating Joey, and she looked great then. But granted, that was 20 years ago, maybe more.
She still looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, she's 50, Trey. She's in your wheelhouse. Send her a DM.
There you go.
I'll
Slide
jump
right in there.
that.
Show her a photo of your new puppy.
There you go.
Oh, Lily's gonna get used.
She's not just your new best friend. She also has a mission.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle Yeoh is 64. She is the Academy Award winner for Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, the star of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Star Trek Discovery, and tons of other movies, including her turn in Shang-Chi, the Marvel movie. She was wonderful in that. Great actress, and it's nice to see that she's been able to do some roles that have not just been centered on her kicking people in the face. Like, people can see that she's just a talented actress, period, and is, more than just, kicky.
Crazy Rich Asians too. That
Yes.
was actually a great movie.
I still have not seen that. I've heard nothing but great things, and it's been on my watch list for so long, but I haven't done it yet. I will tell you this, though. Since my wife is a very accomplished wedding planner, the acoustic song that's in there, Crazy Rich Asians, is sort of like the theme song to that movie. Brides love playing that song as they walk down a sandy aisle. And one more really notable birthday I want to throw out here. Actually, two, sorry. Melissa George is 50. Honest to God, I can't even picture her in my mind. But because of what movie she's been in, I love this. She's known for Alias, Grey's Anatomy, and if you've not seen this ultra-violent vampire movie, get on it. She's also in 30 Days of Night. This is one of those movies that actually had Josh Hartnett in it, kind of in his weird stage when he wasn't really big anymore, but he wasn't nothing. 30 Days of Night is one of the great vampire movies that I don't think a lot of people have seen. It's a great premise. It's this town in Alaska, and you know how Alaska and the sun and orbits work. There are, you go far enough north on the planet Earth, you're going to find towns and countries that don't see the sun for a good long time, which, in other words, is perfect for a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
If you have not seen 30 Days of Night, watch it. That's a lot of fun. That's a fun vampire movie.
I know who you're talking about, but it goes back, like, she was in early 2000s movies, but
Mm-hmm.
and her
Yeah,
face looks vaguely familiar, but
Yeah, I just mentioned her for her birthday, so I can mention 30 Days of Night. That's one of those where in that vampire movie, the vampires in that movie have some really scary teeth.
because your movie recommendations carry so much fucking weight.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's a fun movie.
Uh-huh.
I will tell you when it's a bad movie, you shouldn't watch it. Or that it's so bad I like it, but you probably won't. 30 Days of Night is a fun vampire flick. That's all it's not Citizen Kane. It's not The Godfather. It's a fun, gory vampire flick. You'll enjoy it.
Tell us about Rad again.
It's terrible, but it had a BMX boogie. I saw it as a kid. It has a little nostalgia twinge in my heart. And final birthday today. M. Night Shyamalan, 56.
We just talked about him. I swear.
Mm-hmm.
It's
We
like
actually just talked about him and Josh Hartnett the other day, because I think it was Josh Hartnett's birthday, and we talked about the movie he and Hartnett did called Trap, where
That's right,
Hartnett
okay.
is the serial killer, and M. Night Shyamalan wrote and directed it, and also stuck his daughter front and center so he could bolster her music career. And you want to talk about major pop culture flops, M. Night Shyamalan has certainly experienced those.
Mm-hmm.
Riding a high wave, and then you put out a movie, and everyone's like, well, that was terrible. And now when you see a movie and they say directed by M. Night Shyamalan, we're all kind of like, man, I don't know. It
Right.
could be awesome or it could just be terrible. We're not really going to know until we see it.
Yeah, his movies really are. They seem to be one end of the spectrum or the other. There's really not a lot of middle ground.
Right.
And he never got big enough where like Spielberg can release a flop and it's okay. No one's gonna remember that. But yeah, they definitely remember his.
Hard. I don't think anyone's forgiven him for The Happening or The Lady in the Water.
Signs. I can't. It
See,
could have been.
I'll defend him on Signs. I loved Signs.
I like
thought that
Signs.
was really, really good.
Okay. I mean, it had a lot of promise. It's got. I think Alien Nation did the whole thing about being allergic to water a lot better than he did. Because it's like they appear to be carbon-based life forms, and so they have to have water. So why would aliens that are smart enough to travel all that way through interstellar space to come to this planet would be so stupid as to walk around naked on a planet that's covered in a substance that they're allergic to?
You have put way more thought into this than Trey and I have.
Hey, listen.
My biggest complaint about Signs was that you had Joaquin Phoenix portraying some amazing baseball player, and when he picks up a bat in the final scene, it looks like he's never touched one in his life.
No matter how big his flops are, he can always go, hey, at least I'm not the KZPS morning show.
God damn. Where is my pause button? Trey, what did you say, Lily, your new dog, did after that last segment?
Hey, she even woke up and like looked up at me, gave a little whine, and then was like, I won't pee on the floor again.
Damn, Daddy's mean. All right, back inside the treehouse, Dan and Trey and Jerry. It is time for the end of the week stupid newsapalooza here inside the treehouse. 4 Dallas police officers were among those caught in the Dallas World Cup prostitution crackdown. Guys. Percentage-wise, they were really low for the total number of arrests, but the fact that they were in there at all is bad. Operation Safe Streets resulted in 335 arrests for prostitution and sex trafficking during the Dallas World Cup. 4 of those were Dallas police officers.
It was publicized. Everyone knew they were running stings. Come on, man.
And there really weren't even that many games in Dallas at the time. Like it's like for what, 3 weeks or so. It's just a period where you just don't do that. I mean, you shouldn't do it at all. Let's make that very clear. Don't do that at all. But you're on the side of the stings. You should know better. I mean, even on the public side, we knew all this stuff was going to be heightened as the World Cup stuff was happening in North Texas. They just can't help themselves.
Then you always go apply at Louisville.
Well, they do have experience. All right. So we've all lamented the downfall of Spirit Airlines. But there is an Australian airline that is seeking the crown of the cheapest airline. And not just by monetary fare, but just by the entire business model of charging you for everything. Jetstar is an Australian airline, and it is going to now charge passengers to use the overhead bins for their bags. Even Spirit Airlines didn't charge for that.
Wow.
Maybe they should have. For passengers on the budget Australian airline Jetstar, the days of cramming your bag into an overhead locker already full of your seatmates' full-size suitcases are coming to an end, but there is a catch. The carrier is going to charge passengers for stowing carry-on bags in the overhead compartments beginning in February 2027. This came after passengers and airline staff named having bags weighed at the gate and struggling to find room in overhead lockers as the more stressful parts of their airport experience, which honestly could be made up as an excuse to just justify charging people for the overhead bin
Right.
access. But let me point out, it is true that a lot of us are stuffing our carry-ons with really heavy stuff to get in that overhead compartment, because if you're carrying it on, you don't have to weigh it. You just got to be able to carry it or roll it through the terminal, and then you got to pick it up and put it in the bin. I've done it. I'll admit it. I have traveled across the country with broadcast equipment that probably weighed 40 pounds by itself, and I have picked that thing up and put it in the overhead bin. But it was in the normal roller carrying on thing, so it fit. It was just heavy.
I mean, I don't blame them. I think people try to carry on too much crap. It's really not that big of a deal to check a bag. You know, I don't know when. I guess somewhere post 9/11, that everyone hated checking in a bag, and everyone tried to carry it all on. It's like it's 10, 15 minutes typically.
Yeah.
You're not. It's not going to really make that much of a difference, and actually, to me, it makes the flying experience much easier because you're not trying to find space in the overhead bin or do whatever. You just stroll on, get your seat. God, I miss the Spirit Airlines big comfy seats up front.
Yeah, man.
And then
There
you
for a
were
while,
set.
there was a spate of luggage being lost. That it kind of spiked a lot higher than it would be normally.
Yeah.
And that's when I learned how to pack for 6 days in a duffel bag for carry on.
I have had luggage lost. It's an awful experience. But I mean, it was back, I think it was Northwest Airlines. I mean, they were just
Oh, wow.
the crappiest airline ever. And I mean, it was the worst. It lost in Detroit, and I was going to Quebec, and it took them like, it was going for a wedding, and
Oh, man.
all my clothes in there, and I was in the wedding. Yeah.
No.
So I learned. I think the thing you can do to you sort of navigate that is, one, it depends on the trip. If you can find a way to get it where it's just minimal packing and it's only carry-on stuff, cool. You're right, Trey. There is sort of a relaxation that comes from not having, because when all your stuff is with you in the carry-on bag, then you need to make sure you get on that plane so you get overhead compartment space, right? But if you just pack it all in the carry-on, then yeah, you don't have to worry about it as much. It might be a little more laid back. But all it takes is one time when they lose your luggage and you don't have it for a little while to when you realize you have to pack smart, whether it's carry-on or checking stuff. So if you're checking a bag, make sure you have essentials that you need on your carry-on with you.
Mm-hmm.
Your toiletries, all that. Like, make sure you've got essentials on you so you don't lose
That's
that
the middle
stuff.
ground. Right.
Yeah.
A change or two of clothes in that bag. Yeah.
I don't even care about so much that. I'll pack like a change of underwear, because I can buy a shirt. I typically whatever, but toothbrush, contact solution, deodorant, hair gel, stuff like that. Yeah, I will still try to carry on with me, because as long as you have that stuff, you're going to be okay.
Yeah. Cyclospora is still out there. It went quiet for a little while. Didn't hear a whole lot about it, but now it is the Cyclospora outbreak is now in 15 states. This foodborne illness linked to shredded iceberg lettuce has now been connected to 6 additional states. Honestly, I can't keep up with how many states have been affected. This story is saying 15. I thought it was more than that.
And 2 deaths.
Yes. Health officials say the outbreak is caused by cyclospora, the parasite that can lead to severe diarrhea and dehydration. More than 22,000 suspected or confirmed cases and over 500 hospitalizations have been reported nationwide. 102 deaths in Michigan, where I just was. Granted, those people that died had underlying health conditions. I don't know what they were, but so it wasn't like they were in peak health in some way and then they, shit themselves to death, which would obviously be a god-awful way to go. Investigators have traced many cases to recalled Taylor Farms iceberg lettuce imported from central Mexico, though officials are still examining whether or not other sources may be involved. Like the last time we talked about this, the FDA was sending out an apology letter saying they had a false positive with the Taylor Farms inspection, and then it came out and it's like, well, that was a false positive, but then there was another test that still said it probably is them. At the end of the day, they really still don't know.
No, and this goes back to the problem of how badly they handled COVID. Is people just don't listen to the government anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had really forgotten about this. I was listening to something the other day. I had totally forgotten the BS at the beginning of COVID, how they, you had to disinfect every surface because they were saying, oh, it can last on packages for a week. And it's like, no, it can't.
No, it doesn't.
And that was complete BS. And then you go back and you find out, amazingly, Lysol had a deal with the CDC. And you go, I don't think it was, but I think the CDC, hogged all the Lysol. Because you couldn't buy Lysol for ever.
Yeah, it was. I'm with you. I don't think it was a planned promotion. I don't think the COVID pandemic was a promotion to sell Lysol. Although I'm sure Lysol's thinking, I wish we had thought of that, but it worked out for us either way. But yeah, the misinformation through all of that has just made everyone just kind of do give everything a little bit of a RCA dog,
Well,
not
and
sure.
it's and I'll remain apolitical on it, but then you go back and you see the Fauci diaries, and go, you knew all along that masking and all this other stuff was ineffective, and that you were pushing it on everybody, and for me, you just go back and you look at the number of people who lost their homes, their businesses, everything else because of stuff they knew was ineffective, but yet they were doing it anyways. Basically, from what I think, just to look like the government was doing something, from 6 feet separation to masking to everything else, which really, and at the end of the day, COVID really wasn't that lethal. But we treated it like it was going to be wipe out half the population.
It didn't, but it did kill my friend Alan Hollis.
I understand. I know people that died,
and this is the guy that so it's like I'm just saying that I don't like it when I don't know how much of everything you just said, how accurate it is. I know that you believe it to be, so I believe you. I haven't followed all that stuff to the level that a lot of people have, but I do know the impact that 800,000 Americans or maybe more that died from it should not be lessened.
No, they did. You got to remember everything. If you were in the hospital and you died, it was COVID.
Now, I did hear a bunch of that a lot of people would write that type of stuff down.
Well, that was
now, and I heard that myself, but I don't know how much of that is true.
Per the CDC, 0.1% of COVID was fatal. The actual COVID deaths. So it was not the great. And I know people that died, but I know two people who died that were that official cause of death was COVID, and no, they had cancer. But a lot of that is the way hospitals are funded, and they knew every COVID death meant more money.
I can't get into all the veracity of all that stuff because a lot of it is anecdotal, and barring an outright investigation to really find out the truth on it, which obviously is not going to happen.
Well, the other thing is, the whole deal, it was a wet market. No, it was the lab leak. It started in Wuhan, where they had the Wuhan Center for Coronavirus Research.
And can we just say, I think we all can agree on this, not to call it the Wuhan Center, because that sounds like a place that's full of fun and triviality. Like, Wuhan!
Okay, the BSL-4 Wuhan Research Facility dedicated to coronavirus research.
See, that sounds more serious.
Yeah.
I'd pay
And listen,
attention to that more.
and it's not so much rehash COVID. It's just so much of what they did, they'll never get away with it again. And there may come a time where they really need to do that. There definitely could be a virus that comes along in the future where everyone really does need to be really precautious and stay indoors and everything else. And everyone, because of that, everyone's going to go, screw you.
That's what the travesty of that whole thing was. We had a good practice run for something that could be absolutely deadly serious, and it was bungled from top to bottom.
Well said. Speaking of bottoms,
nice.
Trey knows. From relationship advice on Reddit, I'm a 29-year-old male. My girlfriend is a 30 female. I suggested to my girlfriend that I use a prostate massager during sex. Now our relationship is falling apart. How do I navigate this situation?
Floor is yours, Dan. How did you broach the subject?
Really?
And 29?
Two things. Number one, start small. Number two, if she can't handle a request like that in the bedroom, then you need to go out there and find you a real man who will.
Well done, sir.
And that's how you turn that shit around. For all things Treehouse, treehouseonair.com. You can also check out the show on social media at Treehouse On Air and on YouTube. Can't wait to see the thumbnail for this one. YouTube.com/at Treehouse On Air. YouTube.com/at Treehouse On Air. We will see you next time right here inside the Treehouse.